Hello, welcome back to the Double Cleanse podcast, a podcast all about the influencer space of the beauty world and whatever we want to talk about, really. I'm Robert Welsh, professional makeup artist and content creator.
And I am James Welsh, skincare enthusiast and content creator of 10 years.
Wow.
You say that every time. Wow.
It's
10
just
years,
so
really?
crazy. 10 years? Is that all it's been?
And that all it's been.
Sorry, did you have something you were going to say?
No, I was
just
just going to say, it
interrupted.
feels like it's been 10 years since we were last here, to
It
be honest with
does,
you.
yeah. We've grown so much.
We've been through many journeys.
Can I start with something I'm really jealous of recently? So I was talking to my friend the other week, and she has a daughter who's in, I want to say year 10 or 11. What's GCSE? Like you
10 and 11, right?
10 and 11. Guess what her GCSE is now?
What?
Beauty.
Huh?
GCSE, like hair and makeup and
Wait,
nails.
what? Are you sure GCSE?
GCSE. It's now a new GCSE option. So you can take beauty as your GCSE.
And is that classed as like one of the sciences?
I don't know.
Why would it be classed as one of the sciences?
They were just trying it in a few different schools,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
were like, you know, you have to write us a letter. Why do you want to do this? She's a makeup artist, my friend. That's her full-time job. So how great that her daughter's doing beauty.
so
She already has,
good.
you know, her makeup artistry business. I just wish in school, imagine being able to do, instead of having to do, I don't know, what did we do? I can't even remember what we did.
Oh, graphic design.
Graphic design.
We folded bits of card for a long time.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Which now we love packaging.
love
so
packaging.
It does. But imagine being able to just go straight into beauty.
I know.
How incredible would
Do you
that
know
be?
what I wish they pushed more, which I think is a relatively new thing, though, and we did something with the British Beauty Council about this. It's about how STEM can lead to beauty and the cosmetics industry.
and not just being a makeup artist, being a content creator, or being, you know, being involved in that world without
but
having
packaging,
to be on
for
front.
example, is so interesting. Like graphic design for certain things. And when we did graphic design, I wish we went more to the psychology of it. The psychology of like beauty
I don't know if we've
packaging.
ever mentioned this on our podcast, but we had a graphics design teacher who was like, I just love packaging. And we would laugh all the time. But now we're like, we just love
We
packaging.
get it. We really get it. We were like, that sounds so boring, but now it's so interesting.
We had to make soap boxes. You remember we had to design soap. And I didn't know what to call my soap. So he was like, what have you called your soap? And I went, soap. Because I couldn't think of a name. So
It's French for soap.
It was French for soap. He was like, okay.
I don't think I mentioned this either.
Yeah.
I've mentioned it to you before because I really feel like there's a conspiracy against me.
Against you?
Against me in general. So do you remember in English where one day randomly we had to design a new chocolate bar?
No.
Do you not remember this? Oh, sorry. Maybe that's just the top English group.
I was
that did
A. I was
this.
A
and I
star
was
English
middle. I was
literature.
middle.
I was higher group than you.
I was second. But randomly one day we had to design a chocolate bar, the packaging in English.
Maybe they did it for you because it was a lot more simple. They thought it was fun.
It wasn't like geography where I had to colour in pictures of like volcanoes
Grass,
and stuff.
yeah.
I've got another story after this actually. So many stories to tell you.
We've been through so much.
We've been through so much.
Yeah.
And I came up with a white chocolate bar called Dream. And it was white chocolate.
You
I've
probably
told
have
you this
seen that
before.
somewhere else.
No. This was like brand.
Is
no.
your conspiracy that Cadbury's are watching behind like a two-way
No.
mirror?
So then the thing is, right?
We're like, package that next to soap.
Dream and soap. We just randomly had to do it. I had to come up with a tagline, and that was it. And then we got to leave.
You
the
never
class
heard of it
early.
again? No, are you joking?
And then like we never heard of it again. Then 2 years later, Dream comes out from Cadbury's.
Cadbury's
White
owe this
chocolate.
man money.
Same font, same packaging. Not same packaging, but like Dream with the clouds and
Yeah.
everything. I mean, I don't think they sell it anymore because it was shit. But
You can get it in like
America.
No. What's a great place where you walk around and there's just shit everywhere?
Poundland.
No.
B&M Bargains.
Yes, yeah. Get me next to
I
him.
cheated my way to top class geography, and the
Did
girl that I
you?
cheated from got pushed down a level, and I got
How
sent
does
up
that-
one.
how did
I
that
have no
work?
idea. No idea. But like, because I was bottom, where we just coloured in pictures of volcanoes and Henry VIII.
Yeah, I don't know if they do this in
geography.
every country where you have like 3 sets of. So you have the bottom group, the middle, and then the top. Me and James were in the bottom group for French, which was basically a free period to do whatever we wanted.
Yeah,
to.
didn't they eventually just put videos on for us?
I think so.
Yeah.
They were
Oh no,
"Don't
we had
you-"
free.
They were like, "Don't you
period.
have homework?" I was like, maybe.
Maybe.
You know.
Possibly. But I copied my friend's test, and then she got sent down, and I went up. So I don't know what happened.
Maybe you got like two answers, like more, I was going to say more writer than she did.
Yeah, much
It's
more
English
writer.
literature.
Yeah. You know what? You randomly do the odd one actually, so it doesn't look like you copied. Maybe I got them right. and she
Yeah, maybe
didn't.
you did. Maybe you were just,
Crazy.
Well, fake your way to the top, guys.
Fake your way to the top. I never revised once in my life, and look at me now, another person with a podcast. Anyway, Robert, do you have anything you've been loving this week?
Oh, we're going into that, are
Shall we? I feel like now's the right time.
Okay, I will then.
Okay.
So this is from the Beauty Crop. This is I have to read. Do you do this? You have products you really like and you just don't know the name of it.
I know the brand, but I don't know the actual product name.
I just pick it up and use it, and I've never looked at it.
I look at
the
ingredients.
Weightless Wonder Airbrush Blurring Setting Mist.
I have a question before you get
Go
on.
on.
I saw them advertising this on TikTok. Yeah, I guess it's an advert, but they were talking about this on TikTok, and it looked really good on camera. Like I
Okay.
could actually see like an effect
What?
after.
Sorry, what looked good on camera?
Everything just looked a bit smoother.
Okay.
Is that this one?
Okay. Yeah, well, this is the one that says it's airbrush blurring setting mist, so that could be what you're seeing.
Yes. Okay. Is it? Oh, I
Sorry,
should,
what's the
I
que-
should,
what's
I
the
should
question?
let you review it.
Yeah.
Before,
What was the question?
No, my question would actually be answered if I just let you talk.
We've done this to each other, so I forgive you.
Thank you so
Okay. So the Beauty Crop have a few setting sprays and hydrating mists and things like that. I love a powder spray. I don't know why I was asking if that's right. Because,
yeah.
Like a powdery spray because it's great. It's a great primer. It's a great kind of setting spray. I personally don't believe in setting sprays being used the way they do sometimes. I think there's 4 or 5 that I genuinely believe work.
What do you mean?
So people are like, here's a mist and it's a setting spray. And it's like, there's nothing in this that would suggest it's
So
set.
many toner mists say you
Yeah.
can set your makeup with it. So I don't think that's what they mean.
Yeah, but it's not what they mean. I think
Yeah.
it's like Fix Plus, MAC Fix Plus. Everyone acts like it's a setting spray. Whereas when I used to train with MAC, when I worked for them, they were like, yeah, it's not a set. They'll say it's not a setting spray. And now they're like, yeah, it's a setting spray. But it's like it fixes, it repairs, it hydrates, it makes everything melt together. It looks really good. Whereas this, which is a bit more like a powdery spray, gives that kind of like soft, velvety skin texture, if that makes sense. So
okay.
mattifying. I love this one in particular because you can prime with it. So it's not going to create like a horrible hairspray texture on your skin before you do your makeup, like some setting sprays would. You know what I mean?
Oh, so like a spray on primer type
It's almost like,
thing.
imagine like a spray on powder, because you can prime the skin
Right.
with powders as well.
Okay.
So it's like a spray on powder. Once it sets down, you have that nice barrier between your skin and the makeup. But it does give this velvety, powdery, smooth texture to the skin. It's weightless. It just feels really nice on the skin. So if you don't like those, maybe you have trauma where you used to spray your makeup with hairspray to set it. If you don't like that kind of like, oh, my skin feels tight feeling, this is a beautiful spray to go for.
I have a question. How
Yeah.
are we feeling about matte skin versus dewy skin?
I've always been a matte girly.
Okay.
Because I'm oily.
Why are you showing off? Why are you acting like that?
So, because I'm oily, so I'm always like, I would prefer to be matte because I know maybe my makeup might look a little bit nicer for longer, but makeup and skincare has come such a long way that you can be oily and still have a glowy look and use products that aren't necessarily just mattifying.
Yeah.
And I think we've moved on from that point. Like way back in the day where you'd be like oily and your only option had to be a full coverage foundation for oily skin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know there's a bit of a battle, but I like a mix of both. I
Yeah.
personally like to mattify, then add my glow on, if that makes sense.
I think my ideal situation would be a product that adds.
It's because you keep drinking dairy before we felt. That's why I have oat milk. We discussed this.
Oat milk gives you breasts.
Does it
Bigger
really?
breasts.
Does it actually? Isn't that almond milk? Oh yeah, I only drink it in there.
It's going to lower your testosterone, so you're not going to be so manly anymore.
Oh my god.
What? Was that? Oh, that's soy milk. That's it. Yeah. It raises your natural soy levels. I think my ideal setup would be a skincare product that makes your skin really dewy.
Yeah.
But when you put like a more natural matte-looking foundation over the top, you still have that glow from underneath, so it looks less oily.
Excuse me.
Hello.
Numbers in number 9 toner.
I use it all the time.
It's exactly what that is.
Okay.
It's not so skincare-y that it's like, oh my god, my skin feels skincare-y,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it still has a glow for it.
So what with a toner?
Yeah.
Say you like your skin the way it looks after a couple layers of that toner, because I do like 2 or 3 layers of that. Would you just go straight into makeup?
It depends on your skin. Like if you're not like sunscreen, but if
Yeah.
you're not like that fussed. See, this is why I like a pre-makeup skincare routine where I ignore my skin's needs
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
just
yeah.
think about my
How the makeup's
makeup's
gonna look.
needs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And of course how that's going to work with my skin. But you have to hydrate no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
But for me, if I'm wearing foundation, a toner and a serum is more than enough, or a toner and a serum-esque sunscreen is more than enough. Because I'm like, I want on special occasions, you're going to a wedding or you're a guest somewhere, you want your makeup to last a long time, but you don't want your skin to feel like crap.
Yeah.
Skincare is the main thing that's going to make your... I have another product I need to talk about, but we'll do that in another episode.
Okay.
Which is perfect for this. Your makeup isn't going to look good if your skin doesn't look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Depends.
It depends. It's different for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Our skin, but yeah.
Yeah.
This is why I don't like a lot of what you see online when it comes to pre-makeup skincare.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that in a bit.
Let's do that. Okay, so before we get into that, Savo, let's play fact or fiction. James is going to have a story for us about something crazy an influencer might have or might not have done, because influencers do crazy things, and we have to guess if it, not gaff, don't gaff. Guess if it's fact or fiction.
Gaffing.
Because it's gaff in front of people.
You can't just do that. So listen, I have a brand new situation
Hot
for
off the
you.
press.
Hot off the press.
Okay.
Which actually you may or may not have seen,
Okay.
depending on your algorithm.
Okay.
So picture this.
Okay.
You're scrolling through Instagram, and then you see a picture that looks very, very familiar, but it's not you.
I know this.
But you've been there before.
Yeah.
You wore that outfit.
Yeah.
You realize that an influencer is using your picture, and they've
Yeah.
used AI just
Yes.
to put their face on your
Yes.
body.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, this happened to... So Robert knows it's true.
It's true.
It's fact.
It's fact.
Bearing in mind, this is a black creator, and the person who copied the picture
Yeah.
looks, I would say, tanned in a way, but I'm not sure whether
It's just tanned
natural
in
or
a
she's-
way,
yeah.
yes, but
So bearing in mind, she's put her face on like a black body.
hasn't changed the body
Hasn't
at
changed
all.
the body at
Yeah.
all. But you can get away with it because it kind of maybe
The
shadows.
shadowing, yeah.
But this is a lady who has over 1 million followers.
Yeah.
So she can create her own content just fine without having to steal from other content creators.
Right. Here's the deal. Why are people stupid is one.
Yes,
is the one
that's a
deal.
good
But
question.
also, why would you take anything from online where we know you don't even have to be famous or well followed to go viral in this online world we're in? Why would you take a picture
Yeah.
and stick your head on it?
Yeah.
When you, anyone can see that and anyone
Yeah.
can put two and two together.
But then also, so this picture was of the influencer at a tennis match,
Yeah.
right? What on behalf of the creator who stole it? What made you so
Stoled it.
What did I say? Stole.
Sold.
Oh, stolen.
Stole.
Do you know what I don't think is
Stole
a real
is
word?
fine.
Burglarized.
Burglarized.
I was burglarized. It's like
I think
weren't you
that's
just
a real word.
burgled?
I don't think
can't-
cereals is a real word,
No.
but let's not get into
Well,
it.
That's a whole other episode. Why are you so desperate to post something that you need to pretend you're at a tennis match?
Yeah, I mean, she looked great. The original
Incredible
picture
outfit,
looked incredible.
yeah.
The outfit was cute. It was very sporty, but I'm
It was
cute.
appropriate, but
Yeah.
very fashion.
Yes, yeah. So I get looking at the outfit and being like, wow, that's amazing. But I would never be like, oh yeah, I'll just whack my face on that.
Yeah, because my followers need to see me at
My
a tennis
followers
match.
need to see me in this picture.
It's crazy. I don't
Go in your
understand.
garden, sniff a fucking flower, and take a picture,
take a
or do
picture.
something.
They
if your
will eat it
picture,
up.
if your picture's just going to be you standing there in a nice outfit, put on a nice outfit and
But then
stand in front
I
of something.
Also I think she's a sports broadcaster or something. The
Oh,
person
I
who
think you're
stole
right.
it.
Wasn't she what's it called when you hold a microphone and you talk into it?
What do you mean?
Hosting, presenting. Thank you. Like a
That could have been so many things. I don't understand what you're.
like a fighting. What's the fighting that people do?
Oh, FFC,
MFSC.
MFAC, Ultimate Fighting
she was doing
Champions.
that.
She was doing that.
Yeah.
And What?
Sports.
Okay, she's doing sports.
She's sports commentating.
That's what it was.
Also, if that's your job, go to a tennis match and then I don't know.
know.
Are we out of
that's
season
why,
for
'cause it's
tennis?
sports, but still, just repost something from a month ago. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Or take that picture of that girl and then AI yourself behind her, just posing behind her
On her shoulder,
Yeah, at least
yeah.
then credit her for the picture.
yeah. Or repost. Be like, look
Repost
at
an old
so-and-so
picture.
at this tennis match.
Flashback Friday.
Yeah, this was a great tennis match.
Yeah.
Person versus
Do you
person.
remember how much tennis went on here today?
Hands up if you like tennis.
Hands up, you burglarized tennis. Okay, so one thing, how I think my career started was hacks online. My internet career, not my makeup career, was hacks. And I tell this story a lot, so sorry if you heard it a million times. I once had a client who I was finishing up her makeup and she said to me, aren't you going to contour my nose with a fork?
Yeah.
And that's when my blood boiled and I had enough because I heard stupid hacks before. People ask me, aren't you going to do this? Because they've seen it online.
Yeah.
But for that person to think that I was going to take a fork out of my brush belt and contour her nose really pushed me over the edge. Nice. And that's when I went onto YouTube and I was like, reacting to people's makeup and being like, this is not the best way to do things. Hacks ruin everything. No.
Here's how I think you feel.
Yeah.
I feel like hacks are what brought you onto the internet, but I also think as a professional makeup artist, your views on hacks has progressed with your influencer career.
Can I say my view on hacks have changed a little bit. And it's come to a point where I don't think hacks like blending in your foundation with the bottom of a shoe is right or you should do it.
I also don't think that's as prevalent anymore. Now no one gives a shit about 5-minute crafts.
Exactly, yeah.
Fuck you, 5-minute crafts.
Yeah,
5-minute girlies.
Yeah.
5-minute, go shut the fuck up.
Cluck that.
Everyone.
Yeah, it has changed, and I have to be honest, right? There's hacks that are just for entertainment purposes, and I think we can differentiate between.
I think
the two
people
now.
know.
Yeah,
People know.
But I do think there are some hacks that might come in handy for people. So if we don't think about hacks as in I'm using a knife to guide my eyeliner, this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like hacks have progressed into something that where users of makeup or people who create makeup content or beauty content have discovered something that makes their makeup quicker or easier. And not all hacks are like this online. You see them, they're shit. This might annoy some people, but I'm just going to do it.
What I'm about to say might piss people off.
What I'm about to say, wait for number 4.
Yeah.
So this might annoy some professional makeup artists, right? Because
bearing in mind, Robert was is
still a professional makeup artist. And I'm talking about education here. So remember when I spoke about that primer and everyone got annoyed with me and that makeup artist was like, I never use primer backstage at Fashion Week.
Yeah, but they also have a shit skincare line.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I had a
that
look
too.
and it's not.
Yeah. Here's my point of that story was there was a makeup artist who was trying to educate people who aren't makeup artists. Yes, it's important makeup artists still learn from each other, but more than likely we're not looking for hacks online to make things easier for ourselves.
Yeah.
She was talking about primer and how it's useless. And I think primers are useful to some people. Professional makeup artists are annoying me a little bit online because their first thing to do, and mine sometimes, is to be like, well, I'm a professional makeup artist and I don't do this. We don't do this at Fashion Week. There are some hacks and some products that fill in that gap of a professional makeup artist experience, years of experience, 5, 10, 15, 20 years of experience, that you might not need as a professional makeup artist because you have that experience. But Sandra, who has an hour to get ready for work, who knows nothing about skin, but wants her skin to look great and put her foundation on, might find useful. She might find a primer useful. She might find a hack useful. But I always think, again, especially when it comes to primers are good for, or these hacks are good for people because it gives them more of an understanding of what they're trying to improve in their skin or their routine.
Yeah.
So, I need a pore smoothing primer. So you are now aware that your makeup looks porous when you apply it. Then you can think about, in the long run, how am I fixing that in my skincare routine, right? Because yes, skincare is everything. I would rather use skincare than a primer. But we need to remember that as professional makeup artists or professional skincare people, whatever.
Estheticians.
Whatever you are. It's like you have that experience and loads of people don't. So what is basic information, a quick fix for you, something you can fix in 5 minutes, is an hour for someone else.
Yeah.
It's a week for someone else. You know what I mean? It's a skin condition, like a dryness. I don't mean like a serious skin condition, that they need to have fixed in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Not even in like a minute. You know what I mean? And you can fix that with skincare. You have the privilege of working on all skin types and textures and knowing skin ingredients in skincare. That's why you're a professional. That's why you are better at this job than just any regular person. You know what I mean? So I think if somebody needs to use a hack and they share a hack online. Let's, as professionals, not be angry and see it from an educational standpoint. Why would that be helpful to somebody who isn't in your position, who perhaps doesn't have a beautiful kit full of amazing products for beautiful skincare, and they just want to fix something quickly? The education that you should be given in that point is, okay, do this for now, but in the long run, this is what we should work on. They now understand what their goal is. And how are we going to get to that goal? So that's why I find, looking at it now, and I've actually learned this from makeup artists, been like, I'm a makeup artist and this is not what we do. Whatever you do at backstage at Fashion Week is not what someone wants to do before they go to work that day. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. So I think it's...
Like, imagine if I was making like fucking pasta bake in the kitchen, right? And a chef walks in and it's like, well, we don't do that in the kitchen. It's like, I'm going to do my basic things.
I just want to get dinner done.
I just want to get dinner done.
Exactly.
Like, that's a really bad example.
No, it's right.
But I also think the makeup world products, tools that become available to the general public in such a short amount of time, well, like 10 years, whatever. I consider it a short amount of time, but it, you know, things. It's so much more professional, I guess you would say, than what it used to be. 100%. So people need help using these products. You know, people need these little tips and tricks and, you know, what people expect from an everyday person's makeup. It's not what it used to be back in the day when you first started. So like, you know, a simple smoky eye, like that's kind of like so basic now.
Simple about blending.
No. So do you know what I mean? But people are like, people kind of expect a little bit more now. And most of it is performative and for online only. Obviously, people go out looking amazing with visual art on their face. But I think like these things need to be available and these tips and tricks need to be shared because there's so much you can do now as a consumer.
And I think it's like a lot of professionals, and again, it's how I started my career. So I'm kind of like talking to myself a little bit as well. Go online, it's like, this isn't right. That's not how you do that. It's not gatekeepy in any way, but it's kind of like
this is the way you should all be doing.
This is the way it should be. But again, I watch some professional makeup artists talk about stuff and it's like, you're saying do this and this, but what you don't realize is you're also not explaining the angle you're holding your brush. You know, how high or low you're holding your brush, the pressure points. There's stuff that you do that's second nature that you don't even think of that you're doing that also needs to be explained within that technique. So somebody comes up with a hack where it's like, do this and put on your blush. That's shit. But if it's going to help someone come up with an idea or know that, like, okay, maybe there are different places to put your blush. I know that sounds really simple and loads of people know that, but there are beginners who are entering the makeup world of all ages all the time. So if somebody needs you to draw a chart on their face, or if somebody needs you to be like, I don't know, I can't even think of something that's not overly shit. Because don't get me wrong, a lot of the hacks are like, you should never follow that because that's just ridiculous. But if it's reasonable, if it's a hack that, you know, talks about placement or technique or application, then fine. Let's not get on our high horse and be like, I didn't do that at Fashion Week. I never did that on my bride. It's like, it's like, okay, all right. Well, no one is trying to do Fashion Week right now. Marie, I don't even know who Marie
But then
is.
it's also a different situation. Like, why are you talking about someone at Fashion Week or a bridal when, like you said, it's just Sandra going to work?
And the thing is about Fashion Week is if you're doing Fashion Week, you're quite skilled as a makeup artist because you can have anything from like 10 minutes to like an hour to do someone's makeup. So you can fix their skin. You can take off their makeup and reapply it and fix their skin within such a short period, like amount of time. You got that skill down. Remember how skilled you are. And that isn't everyone else's skill level. So I think let's not get on our high horse and be like, you shouldn't do it. I'm a professional makeup artist. As a professional makeup artist.
But that's a real trigger for me at the moment is across all professions. Like this is what I would do as of this of however many years. I'm like, just.
And you know what though, it is difficult because you do have to kind of prove your credentials. Otherwise, people are like, "What do you know?" It's like, "Well, I've been doing it for like." Do you know that girl's like, they'll give anyone a podcast nowadays, and it's like,
I mean, it's true.
They'll let anyone be a makeup artist nowadays. It's true. But it's like you do have to prove that you've done something. So I do get the like, I've been doing it for this long, so here's my advice. My favorite thing to do at the moment is comment on people's videos who are doing their own makeup for their wedding. It's like, I can do my own makeup for my wedding. Any advice? I'm like, I've done weddings for this long. You look amazing. Everyone's doing really fucking well.
This is what I mean. People's skills are so good nowadays. You can do your own makeup like for your wedding.
Still hire makeup artists because it's a nice thing to do. And of course, they're a lot more skilled.
Stop using AI to your makeup and hire real people.
Stop using ChatGPT.
I feel like And with makeup as well, it's harmless. Let's be honest. Like, rinse it off.
Yeah,
get it off your
there's
face.
a few
You learn
things,
as you go.
Yeah, there's a few things that are stupid. Like you might be damaging your product, or you might be damaging your tools. You know, when people are like, just put your makeup brushes in a washing machine. It's like, okay, yeah, if you want them all to
Put them in one of those like trainer nets with some washing up liquid.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I've done that with sponges, and one of them came out like really ruined. So don't do that. Also, I was being lazy. I know you shouldn't, but I was being lazy, and I was like, I've seen it online. Must be real.
Saw the hack online.
Yeah, so if you're not damaging your products, then fine, whatever.
Yeah. Here's where I wouldn't fuck about.
Yeah.
Skincare.
This is what scares me, because the thing is with skincare is ingredients says. Yeah. 2, people fucking about with ingredients.
I would class
3,
them as the same thing.
Yeah. 3 is that there's a lot of misinformation and some dangerous misinformation online when it comes to skincare in general, right?
Yeah.
For a broader spectrum of skincare.
Yeah. I think one of the worst things, like, is DIY skincare. We're not talking about grabbing an avocado and put some honey on it and rubbing it on your face as a face mask.
Right.
That will be fine. It's going to moisturize your skin. But people are trying to make their own products as well at the moment. So they're ordering like these raw ingredients.
They're not playing chemist. That's
trying
crazy.
to pay chemists. You know, you obviously have to have some kind of license to order certain things. But for example, there's this powder that you can buy. That's like a hyaluronic acid powder, and it's not too bad. You hydrate it. It's like gloopy in a jar. Kind of looks like aloe vera kind of thing, right? Fine. Preservatives.
Yes, yeah.
So whack this in the fridge. You probably got it for 1 or 2 days. But if you start using that beyond that, or you don't put it in the fridge, you're putting bacteria in your face.
Listen, it is very hard to make a product. When we were in Texas and we went to Educated Mess, we went to their like practice lab, not their actual
You go
labs.
to their YouTube channel to watch that video.
Yeah, to watch it. And they didn't make us, we wanted to make our own product and our own cleanser, and they were like, how do you want it to look, the smells, the colors, what do you want it to do to the skin, how do you want the skin to look? It was one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life.
That is a science for a reason.
It's a science, exactly that. That's the thing. Skincare is a science, and I always say I think people downplay it because it's like a vanity thing in quotes, but it is science. It's chemistry.
But even when the products are already made, so you have people doing things like mixing sunscreen with foundation,
People don't understand that you're just ruining everything.
Sunscreen has to be a layer.
Yeah.
Putting it with your foundation doesn't do anything. You're ruining that layer. Putting things like retinoids in body creams to get like you're not getting even spread. You know, they're not necessarily dangerous, but maybe it's too concentrated in one place. You could irritate your skin in some other things.
You're wasting
not
your
getting
time and
protection
money
you need.
too.
You're wasting time and money. Products are made as products, just fucking use them. But not only that, let's pick a very popular trend, or I guess you can call it a hack of skin flooding, right? Have you heard of skin flooding?
I guess it's when you put too much stuff in your skin and it floods.
Put too much stuff in your skin. So I've talked about this to death. So sorry if you follow me on TikTok, but I do have a bit of like a thing, not against this, but do you remember the 7 skin method?
No.
So
was that just 7-step skincare routine? Or?
No. So in the early days of K-beauty, toners were called skins because it's almost like a second skin.
Okay.
Right? So 7 skin method is applying 7 layers of toner to give you like really hydrated, dewy, plump, bouncy, in quotations, as brands would call it, glass skin.
Yeah.
And the idea was that you just kind of like, it wasn't always 7 skin, but you'd apply a certain amount of layers to rehydrate. I still do it. I posted a TikTok about the other day.
I did it last night, I think, because he told me to put like a few, and because my skin, I was saying my skin was really dry, but I was really like greasy.
Dehydrated.
I was dehydrated. Yeah. And it feels really nice.
Works. So for example, you take a thin layer of toner, you pat that in until it's fully absorbed. If your skin still feels dehydrated, another layer, another thin layer. You keep going until your skin feels like replenished and not tight anymore.
It's almost like giving your skin enough time to like absorb, see how it feels,
and just see how much you actually need to use. So you're not overusing product.
Which is a great method before makeup as well, of any skincare.
Oh my God, there we go. A great hack. And that kind of has now turned into something called skin flooding. Apparently somebody coined it online. I'm not sure.
Hailey Bieber's.
No, but have you
Hailey
seen...
Bieber
have you
flooding.
seen... Right, I swear Hailey B was taking the fucking piss, right? She
Probably.
puts on her new mask and
With
uses a comb.
Yeah.
Watch every basic influencer out there do the same
the
fucking.
same.
She can do anything,
Yeah.
and people will copy it for
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah,
aesthetic.
yeah,
Honestly,
yeah,
and
yeah.
good for her. Great for her.
Yeah.
Like she's got her audience.
Yeah.
But I mean, it does look very.
But then
visually
I
nice.
did see something this morning, and it was like what's it?
Esthetician.
Dermatologist or
Dermatologist,
someone who does skin, being like, you need to stop combing your face. This is not a practice. This is just for visual
It's just
things.
for- it doesn't
It's
do
not good,
anything.
and it wasn't. There was a thing where it wasn't good for the skin. I
But,
can't remember what she said.
people doing it
Why?
are just doing it
Yeah.
for no reason.
But then people take these visual things as a genuine
people will be like, this
way
is a
to make
technique.
things work better. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, my face mask isn't working. Have you tried combing
tried
it
combing it
in?
through?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I was like, no, that isn't a real thing. Like, fair enough
No.
if you want to do it just for a little whatever, but like, come on.
I don't know. It's very Pinterest 2005. I'm
Yeah.
not bothered by it.
Yeah.
Very concrete wall Pinterest, which is I kind of still like.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Seven Skin. So this turned into skin flooding, right? And I believe the creator of this first of all was like, you take like 2 to 3 products, like hydrating products that you like. They like to mix toners and essences because that's what works with their skin. But then that has like snowballed into people using. The maximum I've seen is 10 different hydrating products on their skin. So we're talking different essences, toners, not even serums, but like, for
How
example,
is your skin not hydrated enough after
it's
however many layers of
crazy.
different products?
Yeah. So this is now like a hack where it's like layer all these different products. There's a few things that can go wrong. One that's probably not the biggest deal and it probably takes a lot is overhydration. So it can like weaken your skin barrier. It can make you very, very red if you're already like redness prone, rosacea prone. I've seen people even like link it to gout, but I think that's way too far.
Isn't
Like, I
gout
think-
when you've been on a boat for too long and your feet go green?
Yeah, or you get like Lyme's disease. Like, I don't know. But people are basically saying like overhydration is bad for your skin.
Yeah.
Not only that, there's only so much hydration your skin can take anyway.
Yeah, and then otherwise it starts to like...
It's just product
Yeah.
on your skin.
Yeah.
So there's things like this that kind of like snowball into these massive things that are just like not dangerous, but can irritate your skin. They're just stupid.
This is why
But
I
then
hate
people
that
like to
for-
me. Sorry,
Yeah.
people always like to me, but I've seen great improvements from skin flooding. It's like I bet you just weren't hydrating your
I
skin.
bet you've probably just done a skincare routine.
Add a tone, and this is why.
Yeah.
Hang on. I say this all the time. Dermatologists are always like, you don't need a toner. You just get enough hydration from your moisturizer and a serum. With all due respect, your dermatologist, I respect you, but toners can change your skin so much.
Yeah.
Is it maybe just an appearance-based thing? Quite possibly. But if you want that dewy, plump skin, if you do want to reduce the appearance of fine lines over time, and whilst you're using a product, hydration is the perfect way to do it because it just plumps, right? So you look
Yeah.
for plumping. It's not gonna like.
I-
It's not like alternative to Botox.
Yeah, it's
but-
like cancel your Botox appointment. Yeah.
But the reason so many people are seeing these big changes from skin flooding, they would see the same change if they just introduced one extra hydrating step. And that's all it is in a toner. That's all it is. But because they're overdoing it, they're showing all these pictures of their amazing glowing skin. It's like, give it a year and you might start getting red. You might start getting irritated. Narrow it down to one toner and do 2 to 3 layers of that one toner, or even a mist, and you'll have the same thing. But it's just now like, that's a perfect example of a more modern day hack that's not kind of like using avocado,
Yeah.
but like this is like a
It's
technical
using the
thing.
skincare. You know what I find with skincare hacks is it's like it's like people buy skincare and then they're looking for a way to make that skincare work better. You know, when people had that mask from The Ordinary or that pill from The Ordinary and people were derma rolling on top
Stupid
with
fucking
derma rolls from like
stupid
Amazon.
idiots.
It's like, why are you looking for a way to make a product better that you purchased?
Just
Do you know what I mean?
use the fucking
I get
product.
sometimes things won't work for you, but why are you then trying to improve on a product that you bought for a specific purpose? You know,
buy a product that does the thing you
That
want it
you're
to
trying
do.
to get it to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. I think luckily nowadays everyone's very aware of that. That is one of my personal issues with The Ordinary is I feel like they launched too many things all at one time and people felt like they needed everything and didn't know what they were doing to their skin. I have a whole video on my YouTube about it.
check out James's YouTube video. James Welsh does Dallas.
No, isn't that a 70s porn film? And this is the thing, I think, especially with TikTok, we will go into this a little bit. I know we talk about it all the time, but there are a lot of hacks that are just done because I think people want to coin a phrase. People want to be known for
they
want to
they want to make the next thing.
Yeah, so skin flooding, for example, has taken off. And I do think to an extent it's actually really beneficial, but I think, as I said, it snowballed into something else. There was something called skin basting, which a dermatologist popularized.
That sounds so gross. Why would you call it that?
It's using a nappy rash cream to help with
But
redness.
basting.
Basting, I know. I think they're looking
That
for
reminds me
other
of picking up
words.
fluids and squirting it on something.
Or like you're a turkey.
Yeah.
But again, quite useful. But I think people want to coin a phrase and become famous for it.
Yeah.
There's another dermatologist who popularized skin cycling, which again is a great basic way to use skincare. It's basically how you rotate.
Remember
skincare,
when I
but-
said, like, oh my God, you won't believe the difference when you actually stick to a skincare routine? I feel like a lot of time people just stick to a skincare routine and do it a few times over, whether it be skin flooding or skin basting or Hailey Bieber combing.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference because
Yeah.
they're trying something and sticking to something.
yeah.
They see a new difference in their skin. It's like, oh my God, it's working. It's like, you've done a skincare routine.
Yeah. But it's like, again, these are all kind of hacks, I guess you can say, that, like you said, are using the product. So they're not necessarily dangerous at all, really. And I feel like when it gets dangerous is when people, like you said, try to improve on a product that's already trying to do something. So I feel like a lot of skincare hacks have gone from the DIY phase into kind of like, this is useful and this is how you, I guess, like, what's the word?
Like gaining
I would say
interest in
boost
skincare, or-
the effectiveness of your routine.
Okay,
Less hack, more so
Biohack.
More, no, not even that. They can fuck off too. More kind of like optimizing your routine, right? So as long as people stick to these techniques, and again, like you say, try not to hack their products, it's kind of fine. But I think when it gets dangerous is when people try to improve on what's already
already done. Yeah.
Especially with things like spicules now and things like people not knowing what to mix with what.
Make your eyes brighter with spicules.
Oh my
Will be
God,
the
have
next
you seen
one.
those eye drops that are meant to change your eye color? They're absolute bullshit, but they're
Yeah,
all over
how the
TikTok
fuck
now.
would that work?
Oh, have you seen that doctor who changes people's eye colors?
Yeah, I did a video on it on my thingy
And then,
channel.
have you? And
Horrendous.
after they're like red eyes and they're crying and
They're
looks
like,
like
open
they're
your
wearing
eyes and
Halloween
like-
contacts. Yeah.
They look like they're staring through you.
Yeah,
They look like a ghost.
They're like, these look so natural. It's like, they literally look
do
like you have
not.
circles of color. in
They
your
are the
eye.
color blue, not like even like a grey blue or like a natural eye color blue. It is like primary
Grow up,
blue.
buy color contacts, grow up.
Do you have a product that you've been loving this week?
Yeah. Yes. I'm going back to the good old days of me just discovering Japanese skincare.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I've mentioned it. I've just come back from Japan. But 14-hour flight. So I do not do my skincare on a plane.
Yes.
Don't be so fucking disgusting. Horror. Don't
Grow up.
Grow up. The most I would do on a plane is I will do my skincare routine if we are meeting a brand off the plane, right? But if I'm not touching my skin. The most I'll do is a Vaseline stick once I'm on the plane to lock everything in.
The most I do is I go to the toilet and look in the mirror and start picking my face.
I made a note in my phone
Yeah.
to somehow try and get airplane toilet lighting so I can see all the pores
Because
on
what
my nose.
is you're like
What
looking at
is
mirrors
it?
like, why can I now see every single detail of my skin? And I'm like,
Yeah. You come up with like fingernail marks and a red nose. Like, I wasn't pooing, I swear.
Yeah.
So 14-hour flight, got off the plane, forgot my Vaseline stick, very dehydrated.
Oh, no.
Air conditioning on. Very dehydrated.
Yeah.
The air conditioning unit was actually right above the bed.
Nice.
Sucked all the
Lush.
moisture. No.
Oh, I
not
love
for,
that.
Not for your skin.
Make me freeze and cold.
Oh, I do like to be cold in
Yeah.
bed. Yeah. But my skin was ruined. Luckily, I was in the land of Hadalabo. Do you remember Hadalabo?
God, yeah.
Okay, so this is the Hadalabo. I don't know how to say this. It's basically a hyaluronic acid moisture lotion. Now, lotion is what they call toners.
Like a toner, yeah.
So imagine
Thick.
thick. It's
You need to
just
tap it. You need to tap it.
Oh no, I'm not. No, I refuse.
Yeah, no, you must.
No, I
Yeah,
refuse.
come on, let people
So,
know.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
This is a very nice, basic hyaluronic acid based hydrating toner, but
Nice.
sometimes that is all you need.
Sometimes
It's got
that's all
this
you need.
slightly thicker than water texture that when you put this on, it feels like it's like wrapping your skin.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when second day Japan, woke up, felt like a sponge. I was looking at my skin in the mirror. I could see my skin stretching. Do you know what I mean? I was like,
yeah,
I'm
I know what you
so
mean. Yeah.
dehydrated. Luckily, they sell this everywhere. They sold this in 7-Eleven.
Really?
Ran
It's
over
like
to
it's like a staple.
Yeah, pretty much. Ran over to 7-Eleven and got this. Couple layers of this. Didn't help straight away because I was very parched. Within a couple of days, 2 to 3 layers of this a day. Skin flooding with this.
Just doing a skincare
really,
routine.
really massively helped.
Yeah.
This actually has, again, very basic but very nice, 4 different types of hyaluronic acid. So that's just the molecular weight. So you have hydrolyzed hyaluronic acid, which is like nano hyaluronic acid, sodium hyaluronate, some fermented ingredients in
fermented,
here too.
I just love
a bit of
fermented,
ferment.
yeah.
So when they say like different weights of hyaluronic acid, they say it gets deeper into your skin. It's still on that surface layer, but it's enough to plump out the skin and retain that water and hydration. So it's just a really affordable classic. This is the exact type of toner I would use for something like 7 Skin and Skin Flooding. Very basic. You're not adding extra actives in your routine and overdoing it.
And it's really focusing on hydration.
It's really focused on hydration. If you're watching the video, you'll see that this still has the wrapping on it.
Yeah.
Because this is one I bought extra on our last day because the one I bought, I broke.
Oh,
lid.
how?
I just broke the lid.
Oh, James.
I was trying to pack too much into my little toiletries
And
bag.
toners are to remove excess cleanser.
Right. That's where we end. That's where we end. People still believe that.
It's very 1-2. I was to say 1-2
It's
step.
very 1-2 step.
1-2 free step Clinique.
Yeah, it's it was cleanse, tone, moisturize as the Clinique, right? But for some people, because they used to be pH balances in quotation, so you would like rub them on your skin with a cotton pad. But cleansers are pH balanced nowadays. No one needs that, and they haven't got that kind of like
acidic.
yeah, what they
Astringent.
astringent to it. But yeah, so that's what I've been loving. Just a good classic.
Love that.
Been around for years for a reason.
Love that.
I do think there is like this kind of thing nowadays, like we said, you know, there are some people online who want to like coin a phrase and a technique in order to like make themselves go viral or whatever. And I do feel like a lot of influencers kind of have this kind of like pressure on them, especially with the visual side of TikTok, in order to make a product look more interesting than it is, or pretend they found the perfect way. You're using this product wrong. No, you're fucking not.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done this before, but you're just those things are like, this is the exact way you should be using a product. It's like, it's really not that difficult.
and
put
it's
it on your
personal
face,
for other
you
people
rub it
too,
in,
yeah.
and it's usually a load of shit that's not interesting.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you're using it wrong. You're using it upside down in a dry environment. It's like, what are you talking
What do
about?
you mean,
know, that kind of
even?
thing.
Yeah.
But I think luckily, because a lot of us grew up with insane hacks on the internet, I think the audience are so well educated nowadays, pre like this kind of new era of hack information or technique kind of information, that people can see right through all that and realize that a lot of these modern day hacks or techniques or way to use things is purely for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you'll be surprised some people don't know about
There's
that.
the odd comment
Yeah.
that's like still doesn't get it,
Yeah.
but that's fine because maybe they're new to the beauty world.
Yeah, sure. But also, I like, when did it get that difficult that you have to do it this way? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah.
This is like, I'm just like, just put it on your face.
Just put in your face. I love hacks that are educational, useful, informative,
Yes.
easy to follow. All great. Not just for entertainment. Like ones that are actually, or like super educational, but you might not even use them. You know, like, do you know Rose and Ben? She does like the color correction hacks. She's always doing like these color correction things. Like, people are like, my foundation's too yellow, what should I do? And then she corrects it and shows you how to do it, which is like, not everyone needs that information, but it's really useful to watch. And it gives people the idea, you know, educates them on color theory, which people are like, that's a filter. It's like, you know how colors work, right? Like, you learn the basics of that in school.
Yeah.
But I love things like that. Educational. It lets people know color theory exists, how we can use it every day if you need to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also think when it comes to skincare, things like don't mix this with that is, again, not as serious as people makes it sound, but it's good information.
Yeah.
Or this is
Should
a way
something
to,
not be working for you.
or these are the ingredients like hack these ingredients, ingredient pairings, product
Yes.
pairings.
Yeah.
Great. Very informative. People can use that off camera.
Yeah.
So I do think like it's not as big as an issue as it used to be.
So what hacks should people take note of and not listen to? Ones that aren't obviously made for entertainment purposes, obviously.
Yeah.
Not ones where they're just shoving shit on their face.
Yeah. I think things like, I think it's mostly the don't do's for me, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's all you're using this product wrong. I guarantee you you're not. Like, if someone's like, this is the real way you should be using this, that's more of just a suggestion.
Yeah.
It's going to do the same thing, whatever way you use it. Take note of pairings, though, what you should and shouldn't be using things with, but also don't take that too seriously.
Yes,
either.
right.
It's very much like...
Yeah, it's nice to have that education. Basically, if it's useful to you and it's easy to do and it actually helps you, or you just like to experiment, then sure.
Yeah.
But like, if something is working for you and you see a hack or someone trying to show you how to do it better, don't worry about it, because if it's working for you, it's working for you, and that's how you like it to be done.
I think one of the only hacks I've seen online, again, which isn't really a hack, that I think blew a lot of people away, which I didn't realize people were confused by, is, you know, the shapes of under eye patches, you know, so they're kind of like half yin yang. You're meant to, there's always like a right and wrong way to use them, apparently.
Yeah.
The idea is that you flip it so the thin bit is in the center of your eye. That's for dark circles. And if you want to kind of prioritize fine lines around the eye, so you have the big bit there.
Okay.
But if you want to prioritize puffy under eyes, you flip it the other way. So you have that. And that's the only hack that I didn't realize people didn't know. But that's an interesting tip.
I didn't know that.
There's a tip for you. Again, is it going to make the world a difference? Probably not. But it's an interesting one.
It's an interesting one.
It's an interesting one.
There you go. I guess take it easy.
Hey, listen.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Follow instructions.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
I don't know if we have an outcome of this video. We're just going to chat about it, really.
Yeah, just some people can be crazy, huh? All right, well, that was that.
Well, there we go.
Well, this is it. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching wherever you are on. So you can obviously watch this on YouTube, listen on wherever you're listening right now, I guess.
Yeah, if you're already listening, you're
already listening, right? Yeah. So please do like this episode, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us wherever you are, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.